Seema, give us your instant reaction. We've given you a cool 5 seconds to digest the news. From my take, it looks like a broad beat. The consumer feels healthy.
Yes, so it was definitely a broad beat, kind of what in line what we were expecting. And I think a lot of it, though, was driven by Amazon Prime Day and the other holidays you had during the period. So it's not necessarily a reflection of the margins of the retailers, but I could see why people may have stocked up and pulled forward back to school shopping.
And how much of when you mention Amazon and Prime Day, I think discounting and I think deflationary, not inflationary trends. Are we paying more, or is Amazon helping to create these deflationary trends where prices are still cheap?
Right, I would say broadly across retail and discretionary, there's a lot of pressure on price. Just to be competitive, people got used to deals during the recession. And I mean, you don't know anybody going and buying something without checking on to see if there's a coupon or wait for there to be a coupon. So I think there is that pressure. And for commoditized items, like for like, you can check the price quickly.
So Phil, we've been talking about the consumer, the state of the consumer all morning long. Despite what the bond market may be telling us, this is pretty encouraging given how much of the U.S. economy is dependent on the U.S. consumer.
Yeah, this is not indicative of a 1.5% 10-year treasury. Yeah. Let's leave it at that. I mean, we just got double expectations on the control group that goes right into GDP. As I mentioned in the last segment, the U.S. consumer is the antidote to everybody's really sour mood right now. And they just proved it again. And David, this comes after a really strong prior number as well. I mean, it was revised down a little bit, but you are looking at nothing but strength from the U.S. consumer. So remember what I was talking about, is a 1.5% 10-year note saying something ominous is happening, or is it giving the consumer a tailwind because of financial conditions and borrowing rates being so low? And I think it's a tailwind from this number.
Seema, talk to me a little bit about the discrepancy. We've talked about pricing and price shopping and consumers used to discounting. Walmart, for example, comes out today. They just continue to own it and crush it.
Yes.
Is that the future, right? The discounter, almost like a wholesale, if you will, versus a luxury?
I think that you see this barbell where you're going to see the discounting for things that people may need every day, but luxury still has a place. It's really the guys in the middle that may be getting squeezed. And I think that's when you see the price pressure is on this low end, and particularly the way people change their behavior. Like they're going to online. It's easier to go to Amazon. It's easier to go to Target. And you saw that on retail sales. The online month over month was up 2.8%, which is very strong. And that sort of is indicative of Prime Day and every other special that other retailers had during the period.